We're going to call for Nathan Bearman and Gary Zarkin and see if they can top that.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Who set up this order?
Wow. At first I thought following Jew-Man Group, awesome, that's going to be easy, but you guys knocked it out of the park. So, needless to say, Gary and I love a challenge, and today's challenge is for us to say a heartfelt, meaningful thank you to each and every one of you in the room in 7 minutes or less. So, Gary, you up for that challenge?
I am, definitely.
Okay, fantastic. Let's get going.
Well, let's go for it. As you all know, the goal of the capital campaign was to expand and refurbish our beloved Bethel home. It was our time to build for current and future generations, to build a home for the next 60 years. That's a big charge. Oh, and by the way, we were told we need to raise enough money so that we do not go into debt at all. Zero. Financial stability and prudence were core pillars of the project. We got the message loud and clear. An immediate problem, however, was that our feasibility study indicated we're likely to be able to raise $2 million, possibly as much as $4 million, but we needed more to fulfill our dreams.
So our initial project goal was $4.1 million, and for many people, this seemed like an audacious number. For a Durham shul, a small Durham shul filled with academics and physicians, no less, we did not have a Michael Dell waiting in the wings. Some asked Gary and I if we were worried. Were we worried, Gary?
Terrified, sleepless nights.
We were
How about you?
terrified. We were terrified.
Okay.
But we knew that audacious had been done before. We can all look around at the institutions in our community, spaces that we all take for granted now. And to say that we could not have built this building without Lerner, without the Kahila, without Judea, without our federation, and without the JCC would not be an understatement. And so our first Todah today is to the leaders who paved the way, and specifically to those who gave generously of their wisdom and shared that with Gary and myself and our team. So as we say your names, please stand and remain standing, please. Adam Goldstein and Matt Springer, Bryna and Greg Rapp, Larry Rockamora, Ed Halprin, David Rubin.
We want to thank our honorary campaign co-chairs, Joel Fleischman, James Tulsky, Alana Saraf, and Gladys Siegel, who gave us the confidence and know-how to be successful. And thank you, Gladys, for being such a good sport and agreeing to be a star in several videos. Thank you for these leadership. Thank you for leadership. Keep standing.
We're going to ask you to keep standing. That'll be the common theme here. So we also got off on the right foot with a Buildings and Grounds Task Force, if you remember that group. These were the early adopters to the campaign. They laid the groundwork for our success. They hosted community conversations. They helped kick off a feasibility study, and they helped us choose our amazing architect, Weinstein Friedline, who was just incredible. So this group really got the train moving. And again, please stand when you hear your name. Alana Saraf and Caitlin Pitt, Maytal Barak, Dan Schnitzer, David Clapper, Eric Myers, Alexis Poss, Jennifer Resnick, Orit Ramler Zulik, Norman Weiner, Sandy Bearman, Matthew Raskoff, and Kevin Leibel.
Again, please stay standing. Going from task force recommendations to action meant strong board support. Todah to all of the Bethel board members over the last 6 years who both asked the difficult questions and continue to trust us to raise money and be optimistic that the campaign would be successful. If you're a former board member over that time interval, please stand up.
we all know that campaigns go nowhere without solicitors. And these are the people that really made our lives so much easier. Some of them were even making asks for the first time of anything of this size. And so we really appreciate it. I know for Gary and I, we were having meaningful conversations in coffee shops and in people's homes, and to have such a core group of people doing that with us meant the world to us. So for everyone who stepped outside of your comfort zone and was a solicitor on the Capitol campaign, please stand up.
And now to everyone in our community who realized our story, our time, was not just a tagline. You realized this was your time to step up, to write your own story. You embraced the message, and every gift, no matter the size, demonstrated your support for investing in our religious home. To all of you who supported this effort, both financially and through your words and actions, please rise and give yourselves a big hand. All right, thank you. If you could just be seated for one moment. We have a couple extra people that we want to call out and honor. And I'm going to turn it over to Nathan.
So I think I used the word audacious, every audacious project needs one or two individuals who don't have the sense to keep their hands in their laps when the project is announced. And for this campaign, that was Alana Saraf and Caitlin Pitt. And I'll ask you to come up for just a moment. Alana and Caitlin, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen Caitlin this morning. I think she was going to try to be here. So Alana and Caitlin were the first to raise their hands. They stepped up on day one of this project, and simply put, we would not all be here without their leadership and their determination and I'll say guts to do that. So thank you so much for everything. We have a gift. I think we mentioned the mezuzot. And these mezuzahs were made from the pews in our that we all sat in for 60 plus years. And I would say, like those pews, you and Caitlin were squeaky. You were the squeaky wheels who not only did you get me to stand up and be a part of this campaign, but you inspired everyone else to be involved, to get involved in a meaningful way. And we can't say thank you enough.
Yes, you can say something. Sure.
I wasn't planning on saying anything, but I'm honored to be here, and I'll just make it really quick. We've moved away to Boston, and that was 4 years ago, and we love it there. This is home, though. Literally, this room, this place, these people, these faces, this history, the traditions, the memories. Our children, your children, their grandchildren, we're honored to be here and honored to be a part of this. And as I stood there a few years ago, sort of with the help of Caitlin and others, it's a dream come true, and to many, many more years and wonderments and simchas. It's a very extraordinary day. Thank you.
I'd like to have Rachel Galanter, Noah Pickus, and Debbie Goldstein come forward. Come on down. A project of this scale has many risks, and there were congregants, as you all know, these are past and current presidents of Bethel, who are rightly concerned and raised questions about whether we should be making such an investment. It was risky. What, all this money, or was it going to come together? As presidents of Bethel during critical phases, your thoughtful insights and strong and vocal encouragement of this project help assure broad boards and community support. As for the mezuzah that we're going to give you, while the seats were squeaky, I think the seats were squeaky, maybe it wasn't, maybe it was the whole thing, the backs provided strong, solid support. Thank you for your strength and support of this project and for leading us to this day. We could not have done it without you. Thank you. Michelle Schrott and Michelle Pass, please come forward. More than 300 donors contributed to our campaign. How should we recognize these donors? Furthermore, we had previous capital campaigns, as you know, at Bethel. And we had classroom plaques and mezuzah plaques and plaques everywhere in the old building. Or actually, the new building, but the refurbished building. And now those have gone. We've refurbished, they've disappeared. How do we recognize those contributions when everything has been refurbished and those indicators and signs are gone? It sounds like a question meant for King Solomon. But better yet, we have Michelle and Michelle, also known as M&M, our own M&M, who volunteered to lead donor recognition. This required incredible sensitivity, attention to detail, and a keen eye for style. You guys did an incredible job, spending countless hours thinking through all the details, making sure donors would feel properly recognized. The plaques look beautiful, and thank you. When you look at the mezuzot, remember the incredible appreciation from Bethel for all you've done to thank and acknowledge the donors that made the campaign the huge success it was. Thank you.
I want to end by talking about one other partner that Gary and I had in this campaign, and someone that we could not have done this without, and that's Rabbi Graber. Rabbi Graber has a full-time job. I don't know if everyone realizes this, but that is to be our rabbi. The other thing that he is amazing at is talking to people, to asking about the stories that are important to them. And for us, having a partner on the campaign like Rabbi Graber was like nothing else. He was a mentor, he was a leader. He always found time for another conversation, another solicitation. He never said no. Not only was he all of those things, but he was a wonderful friend to both of us, and just a huge todah rabbah to Rabbi Graber.